Hey everyone, it's John, and today we're going to continue back on the key concepts video series where I take some IP routing key concepts and break them down to help supplement your textbooks. Okay, so in the last video we just looked at not so stubby areas, and this one we're going to be looking at totally not so stubby areas. And with that said, let's kick on and let's do it. Okay, so let's go and draw it out then, shall we? So if you recall from the previous video, we had an initial dilemma, and that was we were looking at things from the point of view of area 10, okay? Now, we had a large influx of external routes being redistributed into the OSPF domain via this ASBR, okay? And what we want to do was to cut them out, and the solution to do that, of course, is to configure this area as a stub. Now, because we did that, the problem which we basically inherited was that we could not redistribute this external network in, because as you know, it would be redistributed and come in as a type 5 LSA. And what do we know about stub areas? You're not allowed to have type 5 LSAs within a stub. So the way we got around that is we actually decided that we're going to have a compromise, and we're not just going to configure a stub, we're going to configure a not so stubby area, which would allow us to cut out the routes from here, but also redistribute routes from what is effectively a quote-unquote locally connected AES, okay? Because it's attached to us here, we could perform this trick of introducing all of these networks as type 7 LSAs, and then over at the other end, this ABR would convert the type 7 to type 5 and then propagate them out, okay? So what was the net effect of doing that? The net effect of doing that was that we got to remove the external routes up here, and we got to reintroduce our own autonomous system, or our own locally attached autonomous system. So this one could act as an ASBR within the quote-unquote stub area. Now, if you remember, there was actually another type of stub we could do. We could do a totally stubby area, and what would a totally stubby area do? The totally stubby area would cut out the E2 external routes up here, and it would also cut out the routes learned from the inter area OSPF areas, okay? So that would include all these. And it would just say for all traffic going to these areas and to the external route, we'll just use the default route of going out of the ABR. So you can maybe guess where I'm going with this, okay? So how's this going to play out? And what we're going to do is configure a totally not so stubby area. That is going to allow us to effectively configure what would look like a totally stubby area, i.e. we get to remove all these routes from the externals and the OSPF inter area, but we also get to have an ASBR within this stub area to allow this locally connected AS to be redistributed in. So we're getting the kind of blend of both worlds here. So let's actually go and look at the topology then, okay? So if we go here, now what I want to show you is, well, what I should explain rather, is that I've actually made the routing table kind of large. I've not just got quite a large volume of EIGRP routes, i.e. E2 external routes, I've also added in quite a lot of inter-area OSPF. So if we happen to look at router 10, we'll look at the routing table. So if we did a show IP routes, you're going to see we've got a lot of E2 and a lot of type 3 LSAs, the inter-area. So if we just cut out the E2s via a not so stubby area, we'd still have all these IA routes. And how do we get to the IA routes? Ethernet 0, Ethernet 0, Ethernet 0, Ethernet 0. It's the same path we're taking all the time. So what we want to do is really shave down this routing table, make it very efficient, and just say, listen, what we want to do is be able to redistribute this RIP network in, but for everything else, we just want a default route. We don't want to have this very large, expansive routing table, and that's how we're going to do it, okay? Okay, so let's go and do some configuration. Now, much like the totally stubby configuration, the thing that's going to differentiate it from a not so stubby area is what we actually do on the ABR, and we'll see that in a wee second. So this portion of the area just gets configured like the last video. Area 10, oh, if I can type, not so stubby area. Same again here. Area 10, not so stubby area. Now, at the moment, we've configured these two as a not so stubby area. The way to make it totally not so stubby, we go into the ABR. And we do router OSPF1, and we do area 10, not so stubby area and then do the no summary command, because we don't want any summary LSAs, which are the type 3 LSAs. This is now being configured as a totally not so stubby area. So the effect would mean that we've cut out these external routes, we've also cut out the inter-area OSPF routes, and if you remember, this is actually the curious part, remember in the last video with the not so stubby area, I said that the default route is not automatically generated. Well, in a totally stubby area, it's back to being automatically generated. I know it's a bit odd, but that's the way it works. And the reason why is because we've actually cut out all our inter-area OSPF routes, so we actually need a default route pointing back into the OSPF domain so we can still reach them, okay? So if we actually look at the routing table, we should see that we've cut out all those E2s, all those IAs, and it's just been replaced with this default route here, okay? And crucially, because it is totally not so stubby, rather than just being totally stubby, we can still redistribute this RIP network, which is actually connected to our not so stubby area effectively. So let's go and do that then. So if we go to this router here, and we make it an ASBR by performing our redistribution, go into OSPF and do redistribute RIP subnets, and we're not getting any warnings say we can't do that, so this looks good. And if we go back and do the same thing but in reverse, go into RIP and do redistribute OSPF OSPF 1, and if I can type that right, that's going to help. Metric, and we're going to do 2 hops. So redistribute OSPF process ID 1 metric, and we'll give it 2 hops. So now if we go into router 10, we should now see these N2 routes, and there we go. So we can now see that we've actually successfully removed all the E2s, all the IAs, but we're still allowing this redistribution via type 7 LSAs. And let's try and ping that loopback on the RIP network. There we go. And if we check over here, just like the not so stubby area, from this router's point of view, it's not going to see it as an N2 because it's going to be reconverted back to a type 5 by the ABR. So this one should just see it as an external E2. There we go, E2, and let's try to ping it. Brilliant. And if we go and check our connectivity to the external routes, let's just grab a random loopback from here. Grab all the 51s maybe. And go to this router here and try to ping that. We have connectivity, that's great. Let's try the inter-area OSPF. Let's grab one of these ones. Just grab maybe 1100, 138. And we'll try pinging this one as well. There we are. So effectively, got a routing table, we've managed to cut out all of these external routes, all of these inter-area OSPF routes, yet still have reachability to them all and still have the ability to redistribute into our area via type 7 LSAs. So that's pretty much totally not so stubby areas. We've now covered stubs, totally stubby areas, not so stubby areas, and totally not so stubby areas, and that's pretty much it. So thanks very much, and I'll see you guys soon.